This is Tim Gallagher of the Sioux City Journal with Doug Clough. I'm down in Ida Grove, downtown Ida Grove, at the old King Theater. Doug, tell me what's going on with the theater.
Well, I'll tell you, this theater's been around for 102 years. The last 99 of that 102 years has been the King Theater. So we're looking at next year being the 100th anniversary of the King Theater, and we're pretty excited about getting this theater in working condition again. We've got a board of folks that are real interested in making it as grand as it ever had been in the last 102 years.
When did it close?
Closed in 2010 approximately. They were pretty sporadic with their films at that point, but then they closed altogether shortly thereafter.
Can you take me inside? We'll look real quick.
Come on in. Well, as you can see, it's sat unused for quite a while. I mean, one of the things that I always enjoyed about this theater is that during its working days, under Bob Fridley and then Fred Saunders and some other owners, is that this is a very well put together theater. You can see the brick wall. That's a Bob Fridley effect. There used to be water cascading down there, and some different things that made this theater unique. But now, as you can tell, it's been through some time of non-repair. There's been some leaks in the ceilings, and just needs a good bit of loving at this point, and we think we've got a community that'll stand behind that.
And it showed pretty early in the process. You called a meeting, and it was 50-some people gathered in October?
Right. October 14th, we had a meeting at the rec center, and we had 50 folks show up for that meeting. Just by and large, people really rallied behind this. We were extremely happy with the outcome of that meeting, and in fact we had a rather impromptu gathering of some funds at that very meeting just to show support, and that's really when we became heartened about this whole project. Is that very short time we had over $500. Now that's not a lot of money when it comes to renovation, but it is a vote of confidence, and that's the reason we decided to move on with the project.
Okay, let's take a look inside. How many seats, Doug?
Well, we've got about 140 seats on the main floor, and we've got an additional approximately 90 to 100 in the balcony.
Okay.
You know, for a county our size, we believe that we've got a lot of good space here for a lot of different functions to be. You know, we talked a lot about multi-purposing. You can see, of course, we've got the curved screen up front. There's been a track for a curtain and whatnot. So our main purpose is to show quality movies, have some theater type events where maybe we show a certain theme, cowboy movies, etc. We're also looking at doing first runs if we possibly can. So the primary purpose here is for a movie theater, but multi-purpose wise, we've talked about things like comedians, bands, stage productions, one-act plays. We want to make sure that this is a well-used venue.
Okay. Politicians?
Oh, we love it. This is, I mean, right now, you're right in the thick of that. Right. You know, if this place was ready to go, I'm sure we would have had a politician or two in here already.
It is gorgeous. Now, how often did you come here to see movies? How long have you been in Ida Grove?
I've been in Ida Grove for 25 years. And from the very beginning, I've loved the fact that I could live in town and basically walk to see a movie. You know, hit the Pizza Hut, any other kind of restaurant here in town, and then enjoy a movie. You know, Tuesday nights was discount nights. First runs came to town frequently at that time. And, you know, I'll have to say it's been a big part of my life here in Ida Grove. It's been kind of the anchor of the downtown area in many ways.
What needs to be done, and do you have a ballpark figure in mind? What have you been told? What have you learned thus far?
Well, you know, we've got a few different steps to go through. We did have a structural engineer come in, and he said the building was worth saving. He didn't say it was a total loss. He said there's some things that we need to do with the roof and the back. So right immediately we knew we'd need a DNR grant to save the building. And so we'll be applying for that in February and see where we go from there. At that point, we'll be looking at an architect. We really would like to bring this back to the grandeur of its original days. We can provide some pictures actually so you can see some of that in those images. And so, you know, there's a lot to be done. Our ballpark at this point is $300,000 to $500,000 to see this project come to fruition.
Okay. If someone were to see this or read the story and, you know, maybe they're an Ida Grove native who moved away, and has been gone for years. Whom should they contact if they've got an interest in somehow helping?
I'll tell you, they can contact any one of 11 board members. Now, one thing they can do immediately, though, is they could email me personally, since I'm the chamber, at douglasclough@gmail.com. And then I can also send a link to our website as well as to a donations page.
Okay.
And I can get that information to them.
Best case scenario, and I'm taking a look at the balcony there. Best case scenario, could you have a movie shown here?
All right, best case scenario, I tell you, we'd like to see a movie shown here next year. Now, that's the 100-year anniversary of when it became the King Theater. So even if we're not completely finished by that time, and we think we'll have a good go of it within the next year, we hope to show a movie in here and to be able to kick this thing off in its grandeur next year.
Okay. Thanks very much, Doug. It's been wonderful to see the King Theater. And if it were to reopen, what a great thing, not only for this, but also for Ida Grove in general.
Oh, most certainly. You know, we've got quite a town here, and the only one thing that we're missing is a theater. If we get that back into shape, we'll be as holistic as we'll ever be, especially with our downtown renovation coming around soon as well.